Don't tell him because he doesn't know when to clean and rub your feet that he's not a man. That's just silly. He's a man because he comes home. He's a man when he protects his family. He's a man when he takes responsibility for what goes on about other people's lives. That's what being a man is. You want all these little, trinkets and whatnot. That's not what manhood is. It's about the basics. It's about the solid, down-home things that you have to do. And he's showing up in here all man. All man. Don't be so afraid that you dart this guy away. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Ain't nothing you upset about that serious. Nothing. Ever.
Like, I feel like I've gotten to that point, guys. Like, I was so hung on to this feminism thing, and I missed out on marriage and on children. And now, like, I'm at a point in my life where, like, I'm so bitter. I'm so jealous of people who have marriages because they are so happy and their husbands don't even cheat on them. And, like, men are just the best. Like, right now is when I'm realizing, like, I can't do without them. And right now, I'm like, I don't care, like, if you are rich or poor, tall, dark, handsome, ugly, me, I don't care, by the way. As long as you're a man and you're breathing, like, that's the only qualification I need, because I'm just so desperate for a husband. Like, there's a lot of pressure around me, so if you can deal me and propose, I swear I'll behave and I'll marry you immediately.
All right, buckle up because we're about to dive into a mess of modern relationship chaos. In today's episode, we've got a woman who's decided to ditch her husband and kids and re-enter the dating market as a single mom. Because why bother holding on to family when you can go back to the glory days of swiping through potential suitors? And of course, we'll sprinkle in some spicy takes from women who just don't get it. One of them even boldly declares she'd never remarry if her husband kicked the bucket. Because not learning anything from the train wreck of modern relationships is clearly the way to go. But hey, before we get into the meat of this disaster, thank you for being here. Your support means the world. If you're enjoying the ride, hit that subscribe button and smash that like. Share your own relationship war stories in the comments. We want to hear what's going wrong in your corner of the world. Your participation helps us grow and keep it real. Thanks for joining our corner of the internet. Now let's get into this mess.
Something that I've seen for a while now is how high the lesbian divorce rate is. I think it's something like 75% divorce rate. But why I'm laughing is because how are you guys going to pin this one on men? How are you going to blame men for this? Because it's two women. From what I'm reading online, what women say that the reason for divorces in the same-sex marriage is domestic violence, cheating, feeling ignored, and get this one, feeling like one partner is not pulling their weight in the relationship, which is very interesting to me because you all preach, oh, men are like children, you have to take care of them, they don't pull their weight. But these are two women. So please tell me how you're going to pin this one on men.
So I just watched this video where a woman dropped the top 5 ways women lose a good man. Spoiler alert, these are the same mistakes every woman keeps making, no matter how many empowerment hashtags they slap on their posts. So buckle up. First up, taking him for granted. You've gotten so used to your man being solid that now his goodness doesn't even register. It's like you're in a relationship with a piece of furniture. You expect him to be there, do his thing, and never ask for anything in return. Guess what? He's not a robot, and he's definitely not going to stick around for long if you forget he's a person with feelings and needs too. Number 2, not communicating effectively. Newsflash, expecting him to be a mind reader is just as absurd as expecting the moon to shine on a cloudy night. If you're pissed, say why. Don't just sit there fuming, waiting for him to guess what's wrong. He's not a psychic, and he sure as hell isn't going to solve your emotional riddle without you lifting a finger. Third, being dismissive of how your behavior affects him. Getting defensive every time he calls you out on something? Classic. If your actions are hurting him, maybe you should stop defending your bad behavior and start taking responsibility. This isn't about winning arguments. It's about mutual respect. But hey, keep dismissing him. That'll really keep him around. Number 4, being self-absorbed and unwilling to compromise. Wow, surprise. Your endless list of needs doesn't magically take precedence over his. Relationships are about both people getting what they need, not just you living in your own little bubble of demands. You can't keep treating your man like he's just there to serve you while you can't be bothered to consider his needs. That's a one-way ticket to Lonelyville, and no one's going to stop the train. Finally, letting your unaddressed trauma and insecurity make his life a living hell. Congratulations, you've now become insufferable, dragging all of your unresolved baggage into every interaction. Newsflash: a good man isn't a therapist. He's not supposed to fix you. Work on yourself, or you're just going to end up with an ex who isn't even sad to see you go. So there you have it. If you want to keep a good man, maybe start by not making these mistakes. It's really not rocket science. But go ahead, keep blaming him for everything wrong with the relationship. Maybe that'll work, until it doesn't. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. What are your thoughts? Have you seen these same mistakes in action? I bet you have.
Who thinks that you deserve a high-value man? No, you don't. The truth is that unless you struggle bus with a man on his way to the top, you are replaceable. No, what you should be doing is finding a good man who has integrity. You do not deserve a life of luxury unless you struggle bus with him to get there. Your game plan should be to attract the kind of man who will become the HVM that you want, because you help him get there. And you do that firstly by being the kind of bait for that catch. Find a good man and be good to him and grow together. That is how to get the life that you want.
That's good advice.
How do you feel if your wife was to be very exposed when she's going out?
If she's with me, I don't mind it that much.
Yeah, but if she's not with you, going out with the girls?
I mind. It's not even a thought.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's not
respect
something that
my
she would do.
I respect my man. I don't do that. Because if I go out dressed a certain way, I know I'm looking for some kind of attention that I'm not looking for. I'm committed to him and only him. I don't do that.
Well done.
When 50 Cent said, "It's easy to love me now, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me?" You bitches did not feel that. When he said, "If I flip burgers at Burger King, would you be ashamed to tell your friends you're feeling me?" Y'all didn't feel that. When he said, "Would you love me in a Bentley? Could you love me on a bus?" Y'all said Bentley. Y'all give Bentley. When he said, "If I got locked up and sentenced to a quarter century, could I count on you to be there to support me mentally?" Y'all didn't feel that. Y'all didn't feel that. We got too many hit it and quit it. We got too many 8-figure, 9-figure, 10-figure motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We got too many of y'all. Okay? Y'all don't know shit about ride or die. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Okay? Have a seat.
Viral attention for sharing her regrets about ditching the idea of marriage and family. Now, her article in Business Insider reads, quote, "I'm 38 and single, and I recently realized I want a child. I'm terrified that I've missed my opportunity." That woman's name is Melissa Persling, and she's revealing to Fox News Digital what she thinks caused her current situation. Listen.
I feel unbelievably betrayed by feminism. I was constantly fed this idea that women can do everything. We don't really need men. Women can have the great career and have the kids that they like and change the tires and do this. I mean, I grew up thinking, and men are great, but like I can do all the same things. I do feel in many ways betrayed by that line of thinking. I kind of want to go back to some of those teachers and coaches and say, what the hell did you mean by that? Because women can't do it all. We can't.
Honestly, I couldn't agree more. Modern women have completely lost the plot when it comes to appreciating the men in their lives. They've been spoon-fed this ridiculous idea that they deserve the world just for showing up. And let's be real, there's no room for gratitude when you're busy thinking you're entitled to everything. A man busts his ass, gives his all, and what does he get in return? Nothing. But the second a woman does something halfway decent, it's like the Oscars up in here. Standing ovation, applause, confetti. Heaven forbid you don't throw a parade for her just for existing. And don't even get me started on that classic "I'm fine" routine. You know damn well she's not fine, so just say what's bothering you already. Is that really so hard? Accountability? Yeah, that's like kryptonite to women these days. The minute she gets called out for her nonsense, it's like the world is ending. All her behavior is excused just because she's a woman. If she does something remotely nice for her man, forget it. Suddenly, it's an act of kindness that's been warped by patriarchy. Of course, that's when she remembers to be all selfless, in a way that somehow still centers her happiness. But if she's had a miserable history with some guy who contributed nothing but his sperm and a string of bad decisions, well, buckle up. She's about to drag all of that baggage into your relationship, making sure nothing you do is ever good enough. You'll be compared to every asshole she's ever dated, and good luck winning that contest. Now let's talk about the juicy divorce case I stumbled upon. You know the one I'm talking about, the classic "I regret my divorce" special. The plot twist here? The grass is definitely not greener on the other side. But here's the kicker. She thought she'd get out of the marriage, leave him behind, and ride off into a sunset of single lady bliss. Spoiler alert, that's not what happened. So let's strap in because this one is a doozy.
We signed our final divorce papers last week, and I just got notified today that the lawyer sent the papers to the court today to be signed by the judge. Everybody keeps thinking that I'm handling this divorce so well, and I'm not. I'm not okay. Next week would have been our 9-year anniversary. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with myself. I didn't want this. I never wanted this. And it hurts and it sucks and I'm okay. I know that I'm gonna be okay. But right now it really sucks. And I feel like I can't breathe.
Remember guys, when she comes crawling back, don't buy into the whole "I miss you" act. Newsflash, she's not pining for you. She's missing the cushy life you provided. The home, the security, the lifestyle upgrade. That's what she's mourning. It's not love, it's the comforts that came with it. As I've said before, men marry for love, women marry for lifestyle upgrades. She'll only come to terms with this harsh reality when she finally realizes she was the problem all along. But let's not hold our breath waiting for her to admit fault. Accountability? Nah, that's kryptonite to her. Instead, she'll blame her husband for every little thing, all while completely ignoring her own contribution to the train wreck. Once she's out of the marriage and has to handle everything on her own, though, watch her start pining for what she lost. She'll start feeling that void when reality hits, and it hits hard. It doesn't all hit her at once. No, first she's all excited to jump back into the dating pool, thinking she's got this whole thing figured out. But here's the kicker. She's completely clueless about the game post-divorce, especially as a single mom. Let's be real. A woman over 35 is usually unaware that most men her age aren't interested in playing daddy to someone else's kid. Sure, she'll have a little fun in the meantime, but the inevitable truth is that the wall is coming. And when it hits, she's going to realize all too late that the grass is definitely not greener. You'll watch as she realizes she's not as much of a catch as she thought. But by then, it'll be too late. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Support this channel through membership. You can also support through PayPal link in the description. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.